may know someone personally who died of COVID-19. So before we get started, I'd like to ask all of you to join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. COVID-19 was a challenge to our community, our businesses, our schools, and our county. And all of us were affected in some way. And a lot has happened over the last 3 years. We learned a lot about the disease itself. We learned better ways to mitigate the spread. And certainly our fellow commissioners worked together to make sure that we try to make the best decisions to protect our residents. The health department worked closely with our schools and municipal partners in every city and town across the county. And one of our partners was the city of Winston-Salem, who allowed us the long-term use of one, the fairgrounds cattle barn, because we needed a place to have drive-through testing that could actually keep our staff covered from the weather. The second big facility, long-term use, the fairgrounds annex building, which we use as a mass vaccination site. And the third long-term use issue from the city was they actually loaned us their communications department so that we could more aggressively push out our COVID-19 education information. The county's public health department did lead the community COVID-19 response, and we certainly can't thank them enough for their hard work, perseverance, and dedication over the last 3 years. But team members from every area of the health department sprang into action just as soon as we got started, and we're going to hear more about that later. Public Health Director Joshua Swift will actually speak today, and he's going to provide that background information and all the work that individual parts of the health department did. And he's also going to introduce to us, and she'll have a chance to speak, our public health nursing supervisor, Mara Trimble, who was the first person to receive the notice that the county had its first COVID case in March 2020. And while the health department led the county's response, all county departments played a role during COVID, and I want to recognize them. It's important to note that the county never closed and continued to serve its residents. And employees found new and innovative ways of doing business. And I think all of us will remember the days of curbside assistance, plexiglass barriers, 6-foot signs, online and telephonic services, and the never-ending Zoom meetings, which, by the way, still remain. Many may not know that library employees answered the COVID-19 helpline for the entire community at the beginning of the pandemic. Our Department of Social Services, Public Health, and General Services staff quickly organized and opened an alternative shelter for homeless individuals and who needed to be quarantined or isolated. EMS helped staff the shelter. They assisted with in-home vaccinations, they administered vaccines, and provided